Welcome to Crafting Grid. Today is episode 1 of the actual Supra build. We are going to start working on it today. Cars are so loud. We're going to start working on it today. We're going to start with... God, stuff is so loud right now. We're going to start with cleaning out the interior. As you can see, the interior is kind of just piled in here. Not just interior, I mean there's exterior parts as well. You see the tail lights and stuff in there, but all of this is coming out. It's getting completely stripped out, and all of this is going away. Right now it's going to go to storage, but I'm going to figure out if I'm going to sell it or just throw it away or whatnot. But for now, it's just all getting stripped out and it's going away. Like I said, I'm just stripping out the interior. I forgot to mention, I have a second transmission right here for it, and a second motor right here for it. So that's the 1UZ that I got several years ago, and I built it. It originally wasn't for the Supra. It was originally for a pickup truck, but I deployed, and so I got rid of that project, but I kept the motor. And then I got a W58 transmission for it, which is right there. It's already got the 1UZ bell housing on it with the adapter, but that's all coming off because I gotta do the seal kit on that transmission, and then I want to clean it up too before I put it in there. But I picked up a second transmission here. If I remember correctly, all of this happened several years ago, but if I remember correctly, that one came out of a Celica, and this one actually came out of a non-turbo Mk3 Supra. So I might actually pull that one out and clean that one up first and use it. I don't think there's any difference between them, but we'll see. I'll pull this one out and put it over there with that one. This I just pulled out yesterday out of an LS400. So it's not the right motor. That's the 1UZ out of a 95 SC400. It would have been nicer if I could have found a 94, but I got that one for $150 with all the accessories and everything. I got this one at Pick and Pull yesterday for $330 with all the accessories. I even got the bell housing for it at that price. They included that somehow as part of the cost of the motor. I don't think they were supposed to do that, but I'm glad that they did, because that was an expense I had to buy last time, because I had gotten this motor with no bell housing, and I was thinking about doing the full bell housing conversion, the full 1UZ to W58 bell housing cast one that you can buy like eBay or whatever, $500-$600, but it was much cheaper to just go find a 1UZ bell housing at Pick and Pull and put it to the W58 with an adapter plate. So yeah, like I said, I'm pulling out all the interior. All of the interior pieces are going to storage, and I'm pulling out all of the exterior pieces and things that I need. Like, obviously I need to put the clutch and the brake pedal back on. So like I said, I need to put the brake and the clutch pedal and gas pedal back on. I think that all three of them are pulled off. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I did though, because I was going to strip the interior and paint it too. I don't think I'm going to strip and paint the interior at this time, because that's a lot more work, and a lot of that I can do after the car is running. But all of the blue pieces basically for the interior are going away. They're going to storage. The steering column, plastics, all of that stuff. But I am pulling out what I think is necessary for the outside. I'm not putting the wing back on, so that's going to go to storage too. But I do need the tail lights, maybe the mud flaps. I do want the trim, maybe. I don't know. I think I want the trim on there. Yeah, I think I need the trim on there for now, at least until I find a better solution. If there is a better one. I don't know. That'll be something later. The Thames are going to come off, and I'll put that up for sale, because I've known that some people want to get a workable Thames. Mine was working. So I've got the ECU and all the Thames sensors or modules for it. So I'll pull those off, and I'll put those up for sale. But yeah, so I'll pull this transmission off, put it over there, and keep going. We've got the dash and the front lip, or front cowl piece, some windshield trim pieces, the turn signals and the tail lights and the side lights, some more trim pieces here, the mud flat pieces. That hood latch is not going back in. I'll probably just take it to storage now because I already know for a fact it's not going back in. I'm doing hood pins and I'm doing trunk pins and stuff too. So this is everything. It's all just loaded up in the truck right now because I'm about to take that over to storage. My storage is literally right up the street, so I'm not even going to throw a tailgate on it. I'm going to throw a few more things. This creeper is going in there. This box of 3VZE head gasket kit is going in there. I don't need that anymore. I no longer have a 3VZE in here. The seats are staying for now because I don't have any other seats, and I got to have some way to sit and a fastener. These door cards eventually will be coming out once I figure out what to do about the windows and locks. Same with that side. All of this interior stuff, the fan and heater core, the blower motor and heater core and all that extra wiring is all coming out. The airbag wiring is all coming out. All this extra wiring and stuff in here is all going to come out. It is going to be stripped bare bones, as I say, full race car. Full send. Same with all that wiring is going to be stripped down to only what I need. The temp sensors are coming out. I've got the covers like these ones. I've got the covers like that in a box. One of those yellow totes. I love those yellow totes. I keep them. Obviously we have cats, so I always keep them. They're great buckets. And I've got one or two, I think I've got two of them over there, have all the nuts and bolts and hardware and all that kind of stuff in baggies labeled for where they came out of. Not that I care because it's not going back in, but some stuff like, the seat hardware and the crossbar hardware for now so that I can mount the steering wheel back up. The steering wheel is kind of just loosely mounted on it right now, but that bar is not mounted over there. Over here you can see bare screws right there. So it's because I'm pulling all that out. I pulled it out to paint it. As you can kind of see, it's flat black. I put some Rust-Oleum flat black on it because it was getting kind of rusty, surface rust, but still I cleaned it up and I painted it. So it is a 30-year-old car this year. Which is crazy. But yeah, all the rest of this stuff is going to end up coming out too. For now, I just wanted to get all of those interior pieces up out of the way. And so now I'm going to go ahead and take it to storage. And then I'll come back and I'll get all this. I'll start working on tearing more of this stuff out. Or cleaning up the engine bay, I'm not sure. But no, today is cleaning out the interior. So that's what I'm going to work on first. Clean all this out, get it all vacuumed out and stuff like that to start with. Get all the hardware picked up in here, the loose stuff in here picked up, and go from there. So as you can see, I vacuumed it up, picked up all the little things that were in here, cleaned up a bit. Now I'm going to move on to removing some more interior stuff. I'm going to move the seats back and then start working on this wiring stuff in here that I don't need, all this stuff in here, and the dash stuff. So I got the trunk release, and trunk release cables out, and the gas door cables. The gas door cable didn't work anyway. There was a piece missing, like a button piece that presses into here, into this hole. That piece was already missing, so the gas door already didn't stay closed. So I pulled that cable out and the trunk release cable. Trunk's gonna have trunk pins as well, just like the hood, so I'm not worried about that. And then I also pulled the antenna cable out. I'm not gonna have a stereo running like that. If I do have a stereo, the antenna's not gonna be coming back here anyway. Every ounce. I mean, I might be going a little overboard, but I don't care. So this is what I want. I'm gonna strip everything I don't need out of it. This wiring back here, all this extra stuff is going to come out. Only the wiring that's needed for the taillights and that lights is going to stay back here. I'm going to open this wiring harness up and pull out all the individual wires I don't want. I'm not going to leave connectors hanging out, but that's where I'm at now. I picked up all the extra stuff in there, but I mean, you can already see the wiring that's gone already. I threw it in this bucket. It's all the extra stuff that was still in there. So progress is going steady. Okay, so here's a progress update. I ended up having to pull that seat out because it kept sliding back, and so it was not useful at all. I'm kind of a big guy, so I'm having a hard time. Obviously, you can see I got the air conditioning and heater system out. I also got most of this wiring harness here that was on this side to the Thames and all that out as well. I got some of this stuff out, some more small pieces on the inside, pulled all the foam pulled out of the pillars and all that. And then I'm gonna, obviously you also see I pulled out the bar that the steering column is mounted to. I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually put that back in or not. I think there may be another better way to do this, because obviously I'm gonna be building I keep saying obviously. So I'm gonna be building a custom dashboard, and so eventually, and I'll rock the no dashboard as long as I need to, but I'd like to build a custom dashboard as soon as possible. And I'm not really sure that I like building off of that bar because it's so not symmetrical. As you can see here, it's large on this side, which is the driver's side, and then it tapers down to just the tube on this side, and that's where the center console is mounted. And so it would kind of be awkward to build around that, to build a custom dash around that and keep it symmetrical. However, now that I've taken that plate that's right there, came off of right there, and now I see that they're equal on both sides. So I may be able to just make a plate and mount a tube across and just do one tube across, and then mount my whole dash off of that one tube, and then bring, you know, some little feet that come off of that tube down to these mounting points down here, right here, where the normal dash center console mounts to. That's where these legs right here mount to. So then that gives me a straight bar and then two straight legs off of that to build everything off of, and then I can mount everything I need to off of that. And then if you see, you look right across underneath the windshield, all those tabs that are sticking down, I could use those as well. Maybe just bend them up a little bit to the angle I need to run a plate across and off of that, to run some sheet metal across and off of that down to the bar. It wouldn't be a very long run, it would be a short run, and then from there go down even further and, you know, and mask that all off basically with the sheet metal. So I've got some good ideas for that now. I'm actually going to go grab the one tube that I have on me and see if it does all line up like that, and I'm almost 100% certain it will. So yeah, that's the update right now. Got all that stuff out, and then I think that's going to be it for tonight, only because I need to start going through these harnesses and disassembling them and taking out the stuff I don't need, which is going to be most of it. Like this harness, I need to take out the Thames plugs and the speaker plugs and stuff, but I'm going to leave in place the wiring that goes to the lights and stuff like that here, and the ground there, might as well leave the ground in that, and then also the wiring that goes to the fuel pump and the fuel tank right there. That's all connected to that wiring back there with that grommet right there. So it goes through that grommet and then underneath to those wires that are sticking up right there. So I'd like to pull the harness apart and just pull out the wires that don't belong, or that I no longer need. And then I may even find another way to run all this wiring to tuck it more, because it would look cool. I think now, I don't know if I'll tuck it. we'll see how it goes. But that's where I'm at now. Okay, so final update for tonight. I did measure it out and look it over, and I'll definitely be able to fit a bar across in that space. So I've already started kind of mocking up a design in my head about how I'm going to mount it, how I'm going to do a dashboard and mount the gauges. And I'm still on the fence. I think I'm going to mount the original gauge cluster for now, so that way I can get the speedometer and the fuel level, and then I'm going to see about the water temperature and oil pressure. But I've heard that the sensors off the 1UZ won't work for those gauges, and that I have to get